Solingen in North Rhine-Westphalia, renowned the world over for its famous knives and other cutting tools. For centuries, the water power from the river Wupper has been harnessed by water mills and used to manufacture high-quality cutlery. The traditional master craftsmanship of the Solingen metal smiths and grinders has brought the city worldwide fame. Products from Solingen are leaders in today's global marketplace. The name Solingen is a registered trademark that stands for products of superior craftsmanship. Güde, die Messer. One November night in 1930, Franz Güde, son of company founder Karl Güde, had the idea for one of the cutting-edge inventions that would make Solingen world famous.
In the 1930s, my grandfather invented a special serrated edge, the Güde serrated blade with sharp teeth, as you see here. The teeth are especially good for cutting bread into nice, even slices.
Now Güde distributes its wares worldwide. For 4 generations, the Güde name has stood for quality without compromise. The company prides itself on producing for professionals. Maintaining high standards of product quality, Güde has chiefly made a name for itself with professional chefs and butchers. The highlights of the product range include knives made of 300-layer Damascus steel, the ultimate bread knife, Franz Güde, as well as Asian knives such as the Santoku and Chai Dao. Güde creates all its wares with the same master craftsmanship that has made the trademark Solingen so successful. The knives in the Güde collection are tools for professionals, as well as enthusiastic hobby cooks. Retailers of high-end kitchenware such as Gebrüder Jürgens in Hamburg stock high-quality hand-forged knives, including those from Güde. Mass-produced, machine-made products simply won't do for the quality-conscious customers they serve. Güde is the only manufacturer that still makes a double bolster. The result is that the knives are very well balanced. They're neither front nor tail-heavy. They're nice and easy to work with. We sell Güde products because they meet very high quality standards, and Güde also has its own distinctive design approach. I would basically always favor a forged knife, which has very many advantages over a stamped one. Forged knives lend themselves much better to regrinding and sharpening, so you can get good use out of them for several decades, whereas a stamped knife lasts 5 years tops and then lands in the garbage. That's why the award-winning Güde knives are still each individually hand-forged and ground. All the knives are made of a high-quality ice-tempered steel alloy of chromium, molybdenum, vanadium. Knives made of this special blade steel are much sharper and more robust than knives made of cutlery steel. In the production process, an eccentric press is used to cut a piece from a 6-meter-long strip of bar steel. In the neighboring production workshop, these pieces of bar are then heated to over 1050 degrees centigrade and then drop forged into the desired shape.
Here we are in the forge. Here we can see the elemental forces at work as 3 hammers, each with a drop weight of up to 2 tons, gives the knife the raw form. The hammerhead falls from 1 meter and 50 on the red-hot piece of steel, pounding it into the basic shape.
The tremendous force of the drop hammer has a homogenizing effect on the steel, making its consistency more uniform. After cooling, the forged blank has a degree of hardness far too high for further production steps. So it is once again heated in a furnace and then very slowly cooled down. The steel is now soft enough to be worked with. An eccentric press is used to cut the desired knife shape out of the steel blank. Only now does the familiar shape of a knife appear. A special tool is used to punch holes for the rivets that will secure the knife handle. The blade then undergoes a rough grinding before the steel has a chance to harden, to avoid quench cracks later on. Then comes the decisive hardening procedure, an extremely critical step in the knife production process. The blades are again heated in an electrically regulated furnace to over 1050 degrees Celsius. After that, they are placed in a collet chuck and submerged in an oil bath. Here, a padding of steam forms around the blades, which ensures uniform, gentle cooling. The relatively quick cooling process leads to a molecular microstructure modification that improves the knife's hardness.
That results in a long-lasting premium cutting capability. That means the knives cut well and stay sharp.
The blades are then cleaned and ice-tempered. This involves cooling the knives down in a freezer to minus 80 degrees Celsius, which results in a further quality-enhancing microstructure modification. To relieve inner tension and make the steel flexible without major loss of hardness, the blades are then heated up again to 210 degrees Celsius. This is called tempering. A second round of tempering is done at 180 degrees Celsius. The manufacture of raw materials concludes with hand straightening and a visual inspection. This is followed by one of the most important steps in the knife production process, grinding. Many years of experience and high precision is required to deliver a product of the premium quality expected of Güde. The grinding stone gives the knife blade its typical wedge shape. Next, the handle section and Güde's signature double bolster are ground. After grinding, the blades have a relatively rough surface, which must then be smoothed for the steel to achieve stainless status. This production process is called glazing. High-grade woods, such as olive, oak, and plum, are used for the knife handle. The prefabricated wood sections are precisely positioned and then firmly riveted to the steel handle pieces at 3 points. In addition to fine woods, handles, or hilts in the jargon, are also available in washing machine and food-safe POM plastic. Triple riveting is a quality feature of top-range knives.
Nach der Montage werden die Griffe geglättet. Das Ausmachen ist reine Handarbeit. Dabei werden Übergänge und Nieten durch immer feinere Schleifmittel geebnet.
We use traditional techniques to manufacture a traditional product. This is quite complex. In the course of production process, a knife is handled up to 60 times. This calls for precision manual craftsmanship. When grinding, for example, so that neither too much nor too little is ground away. Our employees have to apply ability and brains at work so that we get a beautiful, perfect product in the end.
Each work phase must be accompanied by continuous quality control of all surfaces to ensure that high Güde standards are maintained. An automated inspection process would compromise quality. The company logo is hand-etched onto the knife blade by the boss himself. The knife has now absorbed all production steps, from blank to finished piece of premium cutlery. In all the manufacturing phases shown up till now, the knives have remained unsharpened. The sharpening procedure is called honing. The blade is now expertly honed until it is razor sharp. But what's the professional assessment? A visit to Master Chef Alexander Czbul.
Ein sehr schönes Schneidemesser.
A lovely butcher's knife. Nice and sharp. It's well balanced, that's important. In other words, the hilt and blade are harmonized. It's not front heavy, feels good in the hand. And it cuts very well. After a few slices, the star chef gives his verdict. Yes, a very fine knife. Every chef, professional or amateur, should have a knife like this. Absolutely.
Absolut.
Güde, die Messer.